Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome any new viewers. Thank you, everyone that has taken the time to subscribe. I really appreciate it. It helps my channel grow. Now, today's story is about the pineal gland, and I've used AI to help me study and research it. Now, AI has a very bad problem with enunciation. Some words. Pineal gland is pineal gland. You'll hear the difference. I have also put a voiceover with in video, so you might hear my voice on other videos throughout YouTube now if other people like my voice, which is cool. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy the story on the human's pineal gland. And yeah, by the way, there is geckos. You can actually see it on the top of their head, the third eye. Okay, enjoy the show, guys.
Of course, the pineal gland is a tiny, mysterious, and fascinating organ in the brain. It has been the subject of both rigorous scientific study and profound metaphysical speculation for centuries. Here's a comprehensive overview covering its biology, functions, and cultural significance. What is the pineal gland? Location: deep within the brain, near the center, tucked in a groove between the two thalamic bodies. Its position is often described as the seat of the soul. Size and shape: it's very small, roughly the size of a grain of rice, 5 to 8 millimeters, and shaped like a tiny pine cone, which is where its name comes from, pinealis being Latin for pine cone. Unique characteristic: it is part of the brain, but, unlike most of the brain, it is not protected by the blood-brain barrier. It receives one of the highest rates of blood flow in the body, second only to the kidneys. Primary biological function: the third eye regulator. The pineal gland's primary and well-understood role is as the body's master clock and regulator of circadian rhythms. 1. Melatonin production. The pineal gland's key product is the hormone melatonin. 2. Light sensing. It doesn't sense light itself. Instead, it receives signals from the eyes. Specialized cells in the retina detect light and send this information via a complex pathway to the suprachiasmatic nucleus, SCN, in the hypothalamus, which then relays it to the pineal gland. 3. The day-night cycle. Darkness. When it's dark, the SCN signals the pineal gland to produce and release melatonin. This surge in melatonin makes you feel sleepy, lowers body temperature, and prepares the body for rest. Light. When light is detected, the signal to the pineal gland is suppressed, and melatonin production stops, promoting wakefulness. This fundamental role makes the pineal gland critical for regulating our sleep-wake cycle, seasonal rhythms, and even reproductive hormones, as day length can influence breeding cycles in animals. The mystical and metaphysical significance. This is where the pineal gland becomes truly intriguing. Its physical characteristics and function have led to its association with spiritual concepts. 1. Descartes, seat of the soul. The 17th century philosopher René Descartes famously identified the pineal gland as the principal seat of the soul. He argued that because it was a singular, unpaired structure in the center of the brain, it was the point where the immaterial soul, mind, interacted with the physical body. 2. The third eye concept. This idea is prominent in Eastern spiritual traditions, particularly in Hinduism and Buddhism, where the Ajna chakra is located between the eyebrows and is considered the center of intuition and enlightenment. The connection to the physical pineal gland arises from its photosensitive nature. It responds to light, and its anatomical resemblance to a rudimentary eye. In some lizards and lampreys, the pineal gland is a literal third eye on the top of the head, capable of directly sensing light and dark. 3. DMT production, a hypothesis. A modern theory, popularized by figures like Rick Strassman, suggests the pineal gland may produce small amounts of dimethyltryptamine, DMT, a powerful psychedelic compound. DMT is naturally occurring in many plants and is known for producing intense, reality-altering visions and mystical experiences, often reported in near-death experiences or deep meditation. Important caveat: while DMT has been found in the brains of rats, direct evidence of its production in the human pineal gland is still lacking. This remains a compelling but unproven hypothesis. Pineal gland calcification. This is a common and often misunderstood phenomenon. What it is, the pineal gland tends to accumulate calcium and magnesium crystals, calcium hydroxyapatite, over a person's lifetime. By old age, it is often visible on CT scans as a small calcified spot. Is it a problem? Some degree of calcification is considered a normal part of aging. However, there is ongoing debate and research about whether excessive calcification, potentially from environmental factors like fluoride, could impair melatonin production and disrupt sleep cycles. The debate, the extent to which dietary fluoride contributes to pineal calcification and its functional impact, is a topic of ongoing scientific investigation and some public controversy. Summary aspect description: scientific role, endocrine organ, produces melatonin to regulate circadian rhythms, sleep-wake cycle. Location: epithalamus, near the center of the brain. Key product: melatonin. Confirmed. DMT, hypothesized, not confirmed. Mystical role, known as the third eye or seat of the soul, associated with intuition, spiritual insight, and enlightenment. Key concern: calcification, a natural aging process, but potentially exacerbated by environmental factors. In essence, the pineal gland is a beautiful bridge between science and spirit. Biologically, it is the conductor of our daily and seasonal rhythms. Metaphorically and metaphysically, it represents humanity's enduring quest for higher consciousness and a connection to something greater than ourselves. Tell me how piezoelectricity works in the pineal gland. Of course. This is a fascinating and advanced concept that bridges biology, physics, and metaphysics. The idea of piezoelectricity in the pineal gland is a key part of the argument for its third eye functionality. Let's break down how it works. First, what is piezoelectricity? Piezoelectricity, from the Greek piezen, meaning to squeeze or press, is a phenomenon where certain materials generate an electric charge in response to applied mechanical stress. The reverse is also true. Applying an electric field to these materials causes them to change shape slightly, mechanically deform. Common examples: quartz watches. A tiny quartz crystal oscillates at a precise frequency when electricity is applied, keeping perfect time. Gas grill lighters. Pressing a button strikes a piezoelectric crystal, creating a spark that ignites the gas. Microphones and speakers. Some types convert sound vibrations, mechanical pressure, into electrical signals, and vice versa. The connection to the pineal gland, calcite, crystals. This is where the science gets intriguing. 1. The composition of calcification. The calcification of the pineal gland isn't just an amorphous lump of calcium. Studies using advanced techniques like X-ray diffraction and electron microscopy have shown that a significant portion of this calcification is composed of microscopic crystals of calcium carbonate in the form of calcite, and some calcium phosphate in the form of hydroxyapatite. 2. Calcite is piezoelectric. Calcite is a well-known non-centrosymmetric crystal, which is the fundamental requirement for a material to exhibit piezoelectricity. This means that if you were to apply pressure or sound vibrations to a calcite crystal, it would generate a small electrical voltage. The proposed mechanism, how it might work in the gland. The theory proposes that the millions of tiny calcite crystals within the pineal gland act as a piezoelectric transducer. Here's a step-by-step potential mechanism. 1. Input: mechanical energy. The brain is not a silent environment. It is constantly pulsating with the rhythm of blood flow, your heartbeat, and is bathed in cerebrospinal fluid. It also resonates with various sound frequencies, both internal and external. Thought as vibration. From a metaphysical perspective, thoughts and intentions are also considered to be forms of vibrational energy that could, in theory, exert minute mechanical pressures. 2. Transduction. These subtle pressure waves and vibrations physically squeeze or deform the calcite microcrystals inside the pineal gland. 3. Output: electrical energy. Due to the piezoelectric effect, this mechanical deformation causes the crystals to generate tiny, localized electrical currents and voltage potentials. 4. Biological effect. This internally generated electrical field could then influence the pineal gland's function in several hypothesized ways. Stimulating melatonin production. The electric field could directly affect the pinealocytes, the hormone-producing cells of the gland, potentially fine-tuning the release of melatonin. facilitating neurotransmission. It could create a localized electromagnetic environment that influences neural communication within the gland. The DMT hypothesis, speculative. For those who speculate the pineal gland produces DMT, the piezoelectric spark could be the theoretical trigger that catalyzes the synthesis or release of this powerful psychedelic compound during deep meditation, near-death experiences, or other altered states of consciousness. Think of it as a built-in spark plug for spiritual experiences. Summary and important caveats. Aspect description. The what? The pineal gland contains calcite crystals, which are proven piezoelectric materials. The how brain pulsations, blood flow, sound vibrations, mechanically stress these crystals, causing them to generate tiny electrical charges. The so what? This electrical energy may influence the gland's hormonal output, melatonin, and speculatively, could play a role in generating altered states of consciousness. Crucial caveats to understand. It's a theory, not proven biology. While the presence of piezoelectric crystals is a documented scientific fact, the functional biological role of this piezoelectricity is still a hypothesis. Mainstream neuroscience has not yet integrated this into its model of the pineal gland's function. Calcification is still largely a mystery. The primary biological purpose of this calcification is unknown. It could be a functional feature, a mere byproduct of aging, or even a pathological process. The piezoelectric effect could be functional, or it could be an accidental property with no biological significance. The scale is microscopic. The electrical fields generated would be incredibly small. Proponents argue that the brain's exquisite sensitivity is enough to detect them, but this is part of the ongoing mystery. In conclusion, the piezoelectric property of the pineal gland's calcite crystals provides a compelling, scientifically grounded physical mechanism that could explain how this tiny organ might act as a transducer. It could convert the gross, physical vibrations of the body, like heartbeat and sound, into subtle electrical signals that influence our neurochemistry and potentially our state of consciousness, bridging the gap between the physical body and the elusive realm of subjective experience. From a practical standpoint, it involves reducing things that may hinder it and practicing techniques that are believed to stimulate it. Here is a comprehensive guide, blending practical advice with spiritual practices. Part 1. Decalcification and Purification. The Physical Foundation. The idea here is to create a clean, healthy physical environment for the pineal gland to function optimally. 1. Dietary adjustments. Reduce fluoride. This is the most commonly cited factor in pineal gland calcification. Fluoride is found in tap water, in many regions, toothpaste, and non-organic tea. Switch to fluoride-free toothpaste and consider a water filter. Reverse osmosis or distillation are effective at removing fluoride. Eat clean. Whole foods. Prioritize organic foods to avoid pesticides and herbicides. A diet rich in chlorophyll, dark leafy greens, antioxidants, berries, dark chocolate, and healthy fats, avocado, nuts, olive oil, is beneficial. Pineal gland-friendly foods. Some traditions specifically recommend chlorella and spirulina, powerful green superfoods that help detoxify heavy metals. Raw cacao, high in antioxidants and contains compounds that support heart and brain health. Iodine-rich foods, like seaweed, which can help displace other halides like fluoride and bromide from the body. Avoid calcifiers, reduce processed foods, artificial sweeteners, and excessive calcium supplements, unless prescribed by a doctor. 2. Hydration. Drink plenty of pure, filtered water to help the body's natural detoxification processes. 3. Supplements. Use with caution and research. Melatonin. Supplementing directly can be helpful for resetting sleep cycles, but it's best to consult a doctor. MSM, methylsulfonyl-methane, a source of organic sulfur, which is believed to help chelate, remove calcium from the pineal gland. Omega, Chapter 3. Fatty acids, crucial for brain health and reducing inflammation. Boron, found in foods like beets and can help detoxify fluoride. Part 2. Spiritual and energetic practices, the activation process. This is the core work of opening the third eye, which is about shifting your consciousness and energy. 1. Meditation and mindfulness. This is the number one most important practice. Regular meditation calms the monkey mind and allows you to perceive subtler energies. Focused attention. meditate by focusing your awareness on the point between your eyebrows, the Ajna chakra. Imagine a tiny indigo or violet flame spinning or glowing there. Mindfulness. Practice being present throughout your day. This trains your brain to be less reactive and more perceptive. 2. Breathwork. Pranayama. Conscious breathing moves energy through the body. Deep, slow, diaphragmatic breathing calms the nervous system. Alternate nostril breathing, Nadi Shodhana. This classic yogic technique is specifically used to balance the left and right hemispheres of the brain and purify the energy channels that lead to the third eye. 3. Using sound and light, binaural beats and solfeggio frequencies. Listening to specific frequencies, especially in the theta, 48 Hz, and gamma, 40, 100 Hz brainwave ranges, is believed to help stimulate the pineal gland. The 528 Hz frequency, associated with transformation and DNA repair, is often used for this purpose. Mantras and chanting. The sound Om, Aum, is traditionally chanted to vibrate and activate the pituitary and pineal glands. The mantra Sham, pronounced Sha-em, is specifically associated with the Ajna, third eye chakra. Sun gazing. This is a very advanced and potentially dangerous practice. It involves looking at the sun only during the very first or last minutes of sunrise/sunset. Caution is strongly advised, and proper research is essential to avoid permanent eye damage. 4. Yoga and physical postures. Inversions. Poses like headstand, Sirsasana, and shoulder stand, Sarvangasana, increase blood flow to the head and pineal gland. Forward bends. Poses like child's pose, Balasana, and standing forward bend, Uttanasana, are calming and introspective, directing energy inward. 5. Cultivate intuition and inner knowing. Trust your gut. Start paying attention to and acting on your hunches and intuitive feelings. Journal your dreams. The pineal gland produces melatonin and is linked to our sleep cycles. Keep a dream journal by your bed and write in it immediately upon waking. This strengthens your connection to your subconscious mind. Spend time in darkness. Complete darkness stimulates melatonin production. Try spending time in a pitch-black room or use a high-quality sleep mask. This can also lead to heightened sensory awareness. What to expect? Signs of activation. This is a gradual process. You may not experience all of these, and they may be subtle at first. Increased vividness of dreams. Improved intuition and gut feelings. A feeling of pressure or tingling in the forehead between the eyebrows. Enhanced visualization and mental clarity. A greater sense of connection to nature, people, and the universe. Increased synchronicities, meaningful coincidences. A final crucial note. The goal of activating the third eye is not just to have psychic visions. It is fundamentally about expanding your consciousness and perceiving the underlying unity of all things. It should be pursued with a sense of reverence, responsibility, and a grounded, healthy lifestyle. It's not an escape from the world, but a way to engage with it more deeply and wisely. Be patient, consistent, and compassionate with yourself on the journey.
Hey everyone, TJ here, and welcome back to Studies and Plays, the channel where we dive into the coolest, weirdest, and most mind-expanding topics. And today, we're talking about the ultimate biohack buried deep inside your own brain. We're unlocking the secrets of the pineal gland, your so-called third eye. Scientifically, it's a tiny pine cone-shaped gland that regulates your sleep cycle with melatonin. But philosophically, this has been called the seat of the soul for centuries. From Descartes to ancient yogis, everyone points to this one spot as our connection to something more. But what if I told you this gland might literally have the power to create sparks? We're talking about piezoelectricity, the same stuff that makes this lighter spark and this quartz crystal power your watch. See, your pineal gland can calcify over time, and those tiny crystals are made of calcite, which is a piezoelectric material, and that means vibration, pressure, even sound can make it generate a tiny electrical charge. Think about that. The music you listen to, the chants, the very pulse of your blood could all be generating a subtle current right in the center of your brain. This isn't just mystic mumbo jumbo, it's biophysics meeting spirituality. So the big question is, how do you activate it? How do you go from a sleepy, calcified gland to a vibrant, intuitive third eye? First up, the cleanup crew. We've got to decalcify. This means looking at your diet, cutting down on fluoride from tap water, and eating clean, whole foods. Think of it as clearing the rust out of your internal antenna. Step 2, energize. This is where we get to the good stuff. We're talking about meditation, specifically focusing your attention right between your eyebrows, and breath work like alternate nostril breathing to balance your brain's hemispheres. And step 3, amplify. This is my favorite part. We use tools like binaural beats to entrain our brain waves, chanting the sacred sound Om to vibrate the gland, and specific yoga poses to increase blood flow to the brain. When you start this journey, you might notice things, more vivid dreams, a stronger intuition, a feeling of pressure in your forehead, or just seeing the world with a little more magic and connection. The goal isn't to become psychic overnight. It's to expand your consciousness, to perceive the deeper connections in life, and to truly unlock more of your own potential. And I want you to play along with me. Subscribe to TJ Studies and Plays and hit the bell so you don't miss what's next. We're going to turn this channel into a lab for consciousness, creativity, and fun. In the comments below, I want to hear from you. Have you ever felt your third eye? Have you had a strange intuitive hit or a super vivid dream? Let's get a conversation going. Thanks for studying and playing with me today. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.